The Buffalo Bills just got a massive victory over the Kansas City Chiefs this past weekend, and according to PFF's power rankings, the Bills are the new favorite to win the Super Bowl right now. And Dalton, this offense is one of the 5 highest graded offenses in the NFL, and Joe Brady has a very diverse scheme.
And that's really what it is. Maybe you don't want to call them the best offense in football. They're pretty darn close to it. Some really good contenders this year for that. But I do think they're the most diverse offense in the NFL. And why is that? So maybe they don't have a ton of household names on the outside. They don't have a Jamar Chase or a Justin Jefferson that just wins all those one-on-ones. But Joe Brady finds a way in any personnel grouping to create explosive plays on the ground or through the air. This Bills team is balanced. They do have Josh Allen. They do have a good offensive line. But Joe Brady, to me, especially in this win over the Chiefs, does such a great job of manipulating his own offensive personnel into manipulating defensive personnel as well. So when you look at what the Bills do, and this is a good chunk of what they did against the Chiefs in controlling the defensive personnel, but the Bills, let's break down those offensive grade ranks, right? With one tight end on the field, okay, it could be Dalton Kincaid, it could be Jackson Hawes, it could be Dawson Knox, whoever that is, they're the 8th highest graded offense in football. Okay, that's pretty good. We can take that. With 2 tight ends on the field, all right? 2 of those 3 guys at any point, right, with 2 receivers, or it could be, 22 personnel with a fullback in the backfield, 3rd highest graded. And if we put all 3 of them out there, it's the highest graded offense in football. Now, I'll admit, are there a ton of teams putting 3 tight ends on the field at any given time? No, not a ton of them, but also because they don't have 3 tight ends like the Bills do. The only other team in the top 10 of all 3 of these categories is the Indianapolis Colts, and that's been the best offense in football this year. You break it down by personnel, the actual groupings, right? You go, okay, 11 personnel. We want 3 receivers out there. All right, we got enough of those guys. Khalil Shakir and them, they can help us out. They're 9th. Okay, 12 personnel. Again, 2 tight ends, 8th. 13 with 3. We talked about 1st. 21, let's get 2 backs or a fullback back there. Cool, we're top 5. 22, 2 backs and 2 tight ends. We're getting real heavy. We're top 3. So I think when you just look at Joe Brady and all of the different things he can do, all the pieces, the chess pieces he has to work with, they can succeed with any grouping on the field that they want.
For anyone wondering, by the way, these numbers, what they mean, 1 running back, 1 tight end on the field, 1 running back, 2 tight ends on the field. It's not you have 21 players on the field. You have 2 running backs and 1 tight end. So whatever the first number is, the amount of running backs you have, the second number is the amount of tight ends you have on the field.
Precisely, and this is how defensive coordinators on the field, on the sideline, call out, hey, the offense is in 11 or they're in 12, and they want to match it. If they want to match it with 5 defensive backs, if they want to match it with 3 linebackers, if they want to match some of these with heavier and they want to get 5 and 6 defensive linemen going out there, there's so much pre-snap. Even before the 2 teams even line up, when they're in the huddle, there's guys on the coaching staff are up in the box going, hey, they're in this, they're in that, we got to respond with this and have the right 11 out there. It's one of the hard parts of that pre-snap operation.
Well, listen, Dalton, Joe Brady is one of the top head coaching candidates in this offseason. Actually, not only for the NFL, he's been linked to maybe the LSU job. As a Penn State fan, he was a grad assistant for 1 year at Penn State. I really want Joe Brady for the Penn State job too, but this guy, if he wants it, is going to be an NFL head coach very soon because of how incredible this scheme is.
All right, so the theme of this is we're starting with personnel, and this is exactly what I was talking about. Let's go back to this past week against Kansas City Chiefs. Now, what you see here is the Bills, everything's tight, everything is condensed down, but we're in 11. 1 back, 1 tight end, 3 wide receivers. Here's Khalil Shakir, 1 wide receiver, 2 wide receiver. There's 1 off the screen to our left here. Here's a tight end, and obviously James Cook in the backfield. So you can get light, and what this does is change the Chiefs' personnel, okay? We're talking about for the Chiefs, 4 down linemen, 2 linebackers there in Nick Bolton and Drew Tranquill. And this is Trent McDuffie, right? This is our best corner who moves inside and outside into the slot against 11 personnel. Why? Because you want him on Khalil Shakir here in the slot. So the big thing here is that you don't have that 3rd linebacker, maybe the Chiefs' best run stopper, Leo Chenal, on the field. So Joe Brady, what's he going to do? He's going to put 11 personnel out there, 3 receivers, and we're still going to be able to run the football from this condensed alignment. So there's 2 things you need to have here. You have the defensive personnel the way you want it, and you need receivers that are willing to block. These 2 guys right here, Shakir and Terrell Shavers, an underrated player in this Bills offense, are going to do that. This is very simple, Max. We've done this before. We got a duo blocking scheme going towards this strong side here. So we're going to get a double team here. We're going to get the tackle climbing up here to Nick Bolton. We're going back this way, back, and back that way. And all Cook is going to do, here's Chenal actually in here, so we got 1 less defensive lineman. He's pretty much playing defensive end here. And then we're going to get Shakir head up on McDuffie, Shavers out here on an alley player. And all Cook has to do, press the A-gap, read Nick Bolton. If he steps into the A-gap, we're going to bounce. It's that simple. We're going to bounce all the way out here. That's exactly what's going to start to happen. So what you see, Cook approaching the line. We're getting down blocks going. Here's the rookie Jackson Hall is doing an excellent job as a run blocker. We're getting all these sealed off to the backside. Bolton is in here stepping into the A-gap. Cook's going to bounce. Now the key block that happens here on top of all the big guys is right here. Khalil Shakir and Trent McDuffie. Get a good enough block here on a smaller player that allows James Cook to bounce outside. We get that. Here's Shavers out here on a player on the perimeter. McDuffie gets to the outside, but he's got to basically tackle James Cook with one arm. Is that going to happen? No, it's not. And he's gone for an explosive run early in the game. This was on the Bills' first drive of the game that they set this up and set this precedent that we can get light and condense it down and run the football. All right, let's have some fun now. That was 11 personnel. We had 3 receivers on the field. Now we're going to 12 personnel. We're getting 2 tight ends. Here's Dalton Kincaid. Here's Dawson Knox. Here's a receiver going in motion. Here's another receiver down here. 12 personnel. What's going to happen now? Okay, they got 2 tight ends on the field, Max. We're going to run the football, right? Okay, we got both these guys. Now it's obvious that we're going to run the football. Okay, now we got a motion going this way. Everything is about getting all the action going this way. Here we go. Jets are single high. And the Jets here, this is a big thing. All right, they're all going to move this way, but this is 1, 2, and 3 linebackers. All right, the Jets are in base personnel. Why? Because they have to respond with 2 tight ends on the field. So what you're going to get here, you're going to get some zone action to the weak side here. Allen's going to open up this way. We're getting play action to the weak side, and we're going to roll. This receiver here is going to run the crosser. We got this waggle concept that we've talked about in prior videos, but this time we're going to the tight end side, and it's going to get funky because you're going to get Knox going in the flat here. Kincaid is going to take a jab step in, step in the bucket, and go underneath here, and out to the corner, and now we've got high-low. 1, 2, 3, if you want to read it out that way, or as we're going to see, you're going to get a lot of guys open here because the Jets are fooled and linebackers aren't equipped to do this. So, again, you get the zone action. There goes everybody this way. Here goes all the linebackers stepping to the zone. Corner, you got that inside release from Kincaid. We're in cover 3. You're trying to match this up, stepping inside, going, what's he doing here, okay? Now, there goes Kincaid. He's going to the corner here, and we got this receiver coming across. Allen's got a boot, break contain, or make a quick decision. Get out here. Here we go. Boom. Look how well this is working. All my linebackers are gone. They're all gone. Okay, so now all we got to do is a defensive end, either make a quick throw if you're Josh Allen or break contain, and look how well this worked. One's open if we want it. One's open in the flat if we want it. Allen makes the quick decision, goes to the flat. Regardless, we've got a big play. We're getting after the catch, first down. So you see now the effect of getting heavy and being able to throw out of it. We're going to do it again. Now here's the Ravens. This is sick right here, Max. This is crazy. Okay, so late in the game, there's 3 minutes left. The Bills just forced a Derrick Henry fumble. They're down a touchdown, right? They're trying to tie the game against the Ravens. Okay, cool. So what are they going to do? They get the ball at the Ravens 30. Got plenty of time to work with. Let's put all 3 tight ends on the field. Okay, so here's one receiver out here, and here's Dalton Kincaid, and here's Jackson Hollis, the rookie, and here's Dawson Knox, right? Look at all these guys in the box. Look at all this. You got Malachi Starks there rolling down from a safety position. We're single high up here with Kyle Hamilton. No way they're not running the football, right? You would be crazy, especially you've got Coleman and Kincaid on the same side up there, right? Absolutely, we're going to throw it. Because Joe Brady, honestly, is an absolute psycho who will put 3 tight ends on the field like this and throw the football. So, up top, you're going to get a version of curl flat right out here with Coleman and Kincaid. All right, so Kyle Hamilton's going to be back here thinking, all right, they got to be throwing to that side, right? You're going to get Jackson Hawes running right up the seam here, which is crazy because I don't know in his career, his college career, that he ever did that. He was known as a blocker, and then you get Knox on this little out and up here getting vertical. So we're taking the 2 guys who aren't even considered the receiving tight ends, and we're sending him vertical. All right, let's do it. Let's see if it's just crazy enough to work. Here we go. We're on the snap. We're in the drop. Curl flat coming here. Could we go out to Kincaid? Sure. But what's Josh Allen doing really? He's looking off Kyle Hamilton. All right, and that's one of the best safeties in football. You can't cheat to your receiver and tell him where you're going. He's looking this way. Wiggins rotating back here. And now what's going to happen? All he's doing is fooling Hamilton. He goes, you know what? I think if I can just look him off long enough and Hawes keeps that inside position on Nate Wiggins, and Jackson Hawes got about 80 pounds on Nate Wiggins out here, you go, you know what? We can take a big shot and really surprise him in Hawes' first NFL game. We get down here. Allen gets back to it. He gets back to the seam. Look at this. We got the space. We've got the inside positioning we want. Hamilton's on the opposite hash. He's not going to get there. Wiggins is turned around. He's got a problem. And Josh Allen, all of a sudden, again, with 3 tight ends on the field, big play. In the passing game, right? When you can get heavy and you can throw the football downfield, it gets crazy. All right, you want a fullback? You like fullbacks?
I love
next?
that.
All right, here we go. PFF, people say PFF hates running backs, so I'll tell you around here, we don't hate fullbacks, that's for sure. Here's big Quentin Morris right in here. So now, we're in 21, all right? 2 backs, running back, fullback, and this is Jackson Hawes in motion right here at tight end, okay? Really good blocker. Now you're going to see the blocking side of this. So, all right, we got 2 receivers on the outside. We got 5 defensive linemen on the field. It's 7 on 7. If we get a hat on a hat, right? Because we got 5 offensive linemen, tight end, and fullback, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, cool. We got the numbers to run the football. Here's what's going to happen. Allen's going to reverse pivot out. We're going to get Hawes leading out to this edge player here. We're going to box this out if you're Dawkins. We're going to get right here. This is going to kind of turn into an ISO play here, okay? So we're going to seal this here. We're going to get up on the linebacker here, and Morris is going to lead us right through, right up on this linebacker. Cook is going to take a jab step to his right and then get up in the left behind his 2 lead blockers there. Now, how's this going to work here? We're going to get the counter step going when Cook gets back to it. We've got the down blocks going. We've got it going. We've got it going. This defensive tackle went outside, did my job for me. Hawes has got nobody to block, and this is the ISO that we want right here. Fullback to linebacker. Boom, right there. Center, getting up to the second level. We're sealing on the backside, and keep an eye on here. Remember I said Terrell Shavers, impact player? Here we go. Get that cutoff block on a free safety. We'll talk about that a little later. So, you can see it right now. If we get this block on the linebacker with the ISO on the fullback, we're going to get a free safety on James Cook. Max, do you like 65-yard touchdowns?
I do,
I'm sure you do. Here we go. Now, what you're going to get. Boom, there it is right there. All the offensive line blocks are good. Good offensive lines block on the second level. And there's Quentin Morris, my fullback now. This is why we get in 21, because all of a sudden that second back, follow the leader, get up in here, we're on a free safety. If he doesn't make this tackle, we got a big problem. Oh boy, there's Terrell Shavers getting on the other one. And look at this. We're blocking on the second, third, fourth, fifth level, wherever you want to go. We've got this, and we've got James Cook shaking a free safety. So we can get in 21. We got 2 receivers out wide, 7 on 7 in the box. We win that battle. One last time. Now, you want to get even heavier?
Yeah.
We want 2 tight ends. We want a fullback. We want Joe Brady doing whatever he feels like doing. Here we go. Now, obviously, clearly, there's no Dalton Kincaid here. There's 1 receiver out solo on McDuffie. I'm probably not throwing it to him. We got Knox and Hawes. Again, we got the 2 heavy hitters here, okay? And we have the fullback. There's no way they're throwing it, right? There's no way, Max. It's just you don't throw with these big heavies on the field like this. So what's going to happen? We're going to bang our head against the wall, right? This safety's going to rotate down. This one's going to rotate back. We're in man-to-man coverage, in theory and coverage. So you've got outside tight end. He's got the inside tight end. We'll figure out the backs with the linebackers. So what's going to happen? We're going to get outside zone action. Everything's going to go this way. We're just going to run outside zone to the strong side. That's innocent enough, right? There's 9 in the box. We'll see if we can just be more physical. No. This is Joe Brady. And look, they're selling it hard. Look at this. I mean, look, outside zone. There it goes. We're squaring up to block a corner. We're squaring up to block a linebacker. It all looks innocent enough, right? James Cook in the backfield back here. It seems simple enough. And everybody's stepping up going, look, there's no way. Right? There's no way they can have Knox and Hawes and Morris all on the field and still create shots downfield, right? Hold up now. Wait a minute, because here, actually, I'll go back real quick. What's going to happen? We're going to square up. We're going to run through. We're going to square up. We're going to run right through. And we got 2 verticals going. And look how open they both end up because everyone is so sold. Look, Allen could take his pick of either one. Doesn't matter. When you got guys in man-to-man coverage turn that direction, there's a problem here. And Josh Allen's going, man, this is too easy. And he's going to get down the sideline here with a perfect ball as he throws so often. And you've got a big play with heavy, heavy personnel on the field. It does not matter who is out there, which 11 guys are out there for the Buffalo Bills. They find ways to create explosive plays on the ground and through the air.
I need so badly Joe Brady to throw the ball in like 23 personnel or 32 personnel. Or
I could
50
find more.
personnel.
Max, there's goal line packages where he's got a 6 offensive linemen and all those tight ends out there. And I believe earlier in the year they threw a touchdown to Jackson Hawes out of that sort of alignment with a 6 offensive lineman as well.
I need a 5 personnel throw too. All 5 tight ends. Just get 5 tight ends in the field, no wide receivers, and still throw.
Oh, I'm sure they have it at least.
Play.
With Quentin Morris, he gets involved in there too. It's so hard to match personnel and match what they're trying to do when they show you heavy and they throw it, and then they show you light and they run it. Everything's backwards in this offense, and it's tough even for a guy like a Steve Spagnuolo in this Chiefs game to deal with.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Joe Brady is one of the best offensive coordinators in the NFL. And the way he's coaching right now, he's going to be a head coach, whether it be at the college level or the NFL level, very, very soon.